All right, let's go to this conversation now. A state attorney staff member in Cape Town has reportedly been on sick leave for about 7 years now with a full salary and benefits. It's believed that the employee is said to be too sick to report for duty, but some of the reports are claiming that some of her colleagues have seen her on holidays and also spotted her shopping. Let's get more details on what exactly is going on here with Reuben Maleka, who is the PSA spokesperson. Thank you so much, Reuben, for your time this evening. Are these reports true? 7-year sick leave?
Good evening, bonjour, good evening to the viewers at home. Yes, indeed, it is accurate information that one of the employees who is working the state attorney office has been on quite a number of years on sick leave. We know very well that the public services. Yes, that we know very well that the public service is very well regulated, and in terms of temporary capacity leave, in terms of process how to apply for early retirement from the public service. And we also would not forget Section 17, which is an automatic termination of abscondment, that if an employee is absent from work for more than 30 days consecutive in the public service, the employer's got the full right to terminate. But this is a different matter. This is a different matter where this particular member has been, in fact, applying for temporary incapacity leave. And we know that currently the public service has got service providers who have to have a duty to look at any application that has been made. And in this case, an application was made, and to date, there has not been any outcome. The member went further to request for early retirement, and to date, there has not been a response.
So, okay, I'm trying to understand here. She's on sick leave for 7 years. She's still getting a salary and the full benefits, right?
That's correct.
So as the union, and I'm supposing this is your member, what impressions does this give you?
The impression says that there's laxity on the side of management. The HR management of the department, the one that deals with issues of sick leave, including temporary incapacity leave, because we cannot fault the member when the member make a request or any employee make a request for temporary capacity leave, then there is no decision.
Are you pushing management to act?
Look, obviously, remember, it is a concern that we've been raising, and we've got a paper trail of all submissions that have been made, including sick leave days that have been submitted. So it was the actual ball is in the hands of the employer to make a decision.
No, I mean you as a union. Pardon me, Reuben, for coming in there. I mean you as a union. Are you speaking to the employer to ensure that they move with speed here? It's
Absolutely.
been 7 years.
That's the point that I'm raising, that we have made submissions on behalf of the member. The member is in pains of not getting a decision. Remember, this member requested even early retirement, meaning that the member is fully aware that the kind of illness that finds herself in is not the illness that she can continue with employment. But the employer is not making that decision. And that is where we are also concerned, because we know that the public service is depleted. We know that public service is operating in a skeletal state. Therefore, each and every individual is required to render a service to the public, which is the most needed service to the public.
So help me understand here, and I'm hoping that in this regard, maybe you've spoken to this member in question. The law is very clear that, you know, there is a certain number of sick days that you can take, about 120, if I'm not mistaken, in a 3-year cycle. And a lot of people are thinking now that this is tantamount to abuse. And I say this because some of the reports are suggesting that she is being spotted shopping and on holiday. So she's not too sick to be on holiday. If these reports are true, she's not too sick to be on holiday. She's not too sick to be, shopping, but she's too sick to report for duty.
Look, that is an allegation, and nobody has actually put it before, because those allegations of saying somebody's sick and we've seen in the mall is a different case. Because at this point in time, even where I'm sitting, it will be unfair to disclose the kind of illness of anybody else, because Remember, an illness does not necessarily say that you must be bedridden in order not to do certain things. And it will be unfair that all the time that this particular employee has been submitting sick notes, the employer has accepted them, which means that we are sitting with the employer who understand the kind of illness that has put the member out of the workplace. And
So-
hence, this particular employer is not coming with a decision. And you might find it odd that you might think that I'm defending this particular member, but I think it was going to be very crucial that you have brought in the very same employer, because the very same employer that does not make a decision is putting this particular employee is putting everybody, even the colleagues, in a conundrum because they are unable to make a decision on an application to request for early retirement.
What are some of the reasons they're giving you for their inability to make this particular decision? Because I'm finding it difficult to have someone that, reports that are saying she's seen shopping and all of that. And yes, we are saying these are allegations, and I do hope that you get to put them to her at some point, but she's not going to work. And I wonder then, what are some of the reasons that the employer is giving you here for not making sure that this matter is put to finality 7 years later?
That is we are happy because this matter is coming out, and we hope that it will bring finality when the employer is now exposed for lack of decision. Because once the employer make a decision and say,
but what are the reasons? What are the reasons, Reuben? Because you say that you've raised it over time. What reasons specifically are they giving you as the PSA for not finalizing this matter?
That's exactly the problem that we are sitting with, that there is no decision, meaning they are not giving any reasons to say we can't make a decision based on this.
Okay.
What is happening is that this particular employee submits sick notes as required, and when submissions are made based on even the request for early retirement, the employer simply does not make a decision.
So is it right for taxpayers to be paying this particular individual for sitting at home and not performing a service for 7 years? What kind of impression does this create then for your members?
That's exactly where we are saying the person that must account is the employer who can make a decision.
But according to the PSA, let's park the employer, we'll reach out to them to get their side of the story. I want to understand from the PSA, from your point of view, where you are sitting right now, is it correct that the taxpayers' money is being used to pay an individual who has not reported for duty for 7 years, who is not at her post, who's not doing what she's supposed to be doing?
Look, if you told me about this specific case, there is no way that I can say is wrong or is incorrect, merely for the fact that it is not the wrong of the employee for not somebody making a decision. But in the general terms, if you say to me that, is it right for employer not to make a decision to put an employee to be, in a state of earning a salary over a 7-year period without working? It's unfair. It's unfair to the public. It's unfair to taxpayers. But you cannot put the blame on somebody who can make a decision for herself.
Why does the member in question not just resign?
Look, the issue is that once you resign, it's different to when you are put on, early retirement based on illness. Because once you resign, there are consequences that are negative to you as an employee, including loss of benefits, loss of medical aid. And when you are sick, you definitely need a medical certificate, medical aid. So if you resign, you lose all those benefits.
So basically, she still wants to be taken care of for the rest of her life when it comes to medical benefits and all of that. Is that what I'm hearing correctly here?
Obviously, the medical aid, you do make a contribution. And there's also post-medical retirement benefit that you're entitled to. It's not like you are not part of the scheme. It's a scheme where you contribute. And when you contribute, there's post-medical retirement that you think, I'm too ill so that I need a medical aid. And that is where we are sitting with that. How do you say that when you are sick and able to, afford certain things, even going to private medical, services, then you terminate your employment, then you lose the medical aid, then you're creating a problem for yourself. The issue is that the employer must make a decision so that this particular matter can come to an end.
So benefits are more important than ensuring that she protects her integrity?
Life is more important than all issues of money, because we're talking about the life of a person here. You can't just say, because you have been sitting at home, terminate, and something happens to you, then you lose your life. Life is precious, must be taken off. That's why we're saying, based on the illness that the member finds herself, she needs medical aid in order to live.
Have you asked her if it's true that she's been spotted shopping and on holiday?
Look, those are the matters that obviously would be ventilated at their own time if there would be a need for that. But we don't want to put a burden on an ill person by putting certain things that are not even part of the process, because what is before us now is for the employer to make a decision on early retirement or on temporary incapacity leave.
How sure are you that sick leave is not being abused?
Look, the fact is that that is why I'm saying once a person has been, putting out sick leave, employer accepting those sick leave, then you cannot apportion that particular blame to say is an abuse, because the employer is well aware of the kind of illness, and the employer has been accepting the sick notes. And in this case, we all know that the employer is well aware of Section 17. They could have terminated the employment, and that is not the case, because the employer knows exactly where the employee is and what is the kind of illness. And that's the reason today we are also saying that the employer must make a decision on a retirement or on temporary incapacity leave, and this matter will come to an end.
All right, Reuben, thank you so much for that. Let's then see, we'll reach out to the employer in question here, because there are so many questions that arise from this particular matter. And as you say, it must be brought to finality. But it boggles the mind. 7 years later, full salary, full benefits. Somebody's still on sick leave. Wow. But thank you. That is Reuben Maleka, PSA spokesperson, and we will track this particular story just to get a sense and understand exactly what's going on here.